Hey, it's James with your Chuereview. Last time I reviewed Ninja Wars in this collection of martial arts movie. How was it? Pretty good. But for a film called Ninja Wars, it didn't have very many ninjas or fight scenes. But it's really not that bad, just too ambitious.
For this review, let's move on to Shogun's Ninja.
Shogun's Ninja was released in 1980, 2 years before Ninja Wars, and it stars both Sonny Chiba and Hiroyuki Sanada, although he's credited as Henry Sanada. So with two superstars lined up in the cast, how can we fail at awesomeness?
The Momochi castle still stands.
Wow, I think I just got audio-visual whiplash.
The three of us can achieve anything. I raised them myself. I have taught them to have no fear. Chin is a mute, Hario is deaf. Together we make an unbeatable team.
Was that necessary? Well, these two guys are creepy anyways, so, you don't really care about them. We get an opening scene where this guy asks the Shogun to destroy the Momochi clan for one reason or another.
It's here that you notice there's a cropping issue. It's not nearly as annoying as the loud persistent ringing of the terrible audio in Ninja Wars, but it kind of ruins a lot. Not only do subtitles and text get cut out, there are entire scenes where both fighters are off screen. I'll point them out as they come along.
For the fame I may earn.
On March 15th, Lord Order ordered Hideyoshi to storm the Momochi castle in Iga province.
It's within these parts that you get the hiccup in the story. There's an announcer, or a teleprompter, or something telling you about the story progression. It doesn't happen too many times in the story, but you get the feeling that they're force-feeding you the plot.
Shogun.
We then cut to the Shogun going to kill the clan leader in secrecy.
Nothing gives me greater satisfaction.
Now that's ninja!
Shogun, you deceived me!
You get this bit of ridiculousness. They stand on each other's shoulder to create this
Who are you calling a traitor?
totem pole of ninjas? I don't know. You get this very out-of-screen shot of the fight and the following death. Oh! Oh! Ugh! Bah! Oh my god! Ninjas in a ninja movie! Take them away!
And then a ninja ambush.
We get this little bit kind of out of nowhere that says he apparently has a sword with a map on it that leads to a secret gold mine. There's no indication of it until this point, kind of more bad buildup. We then cut to Lord Momochi's wife and son, who will grow up to be Hiroyuki Sanada's character, Takamaru.
Our master has been killed!
After giving Takamaru the sword with a map on it, she convinces him to run and then commits suicide.
It's around here that I thought to myself,
Come back, boy!
this movie's already more awesome than Ninja Wars.
Yes, father.
We get a scene where he's taken to a group of people and they accept him.
Good, you're safe. I was beginning to get...
I assume they're his clan members.
Yeah, they don't do a very good job establishing these characters, but I don't know, maybe the subtitles were off screen.
Don't cry, Otto.
Get down, quickly!
Men, women, and children get slaughtered in a surprise attack. It's also around this time that you notice the music they play in the background. I'm not sure if it was added in later in the dub or if it was actually part of the original film, but it completely kicks ass! Who knew a slapping bass and sax could make a ninja fight so much better?
Long story short, this guy jumps into the water with Takamaru and they lose their pursuers.
We get another exposition telling you what happened. This guy dies and you're told that some other guy unified Japan. I don't know, it's not that I'm lazy, it's just that these stories are very hard to pick up on, especially if you don't recognize the names. We get this bit with Takamaru returning, riding a boat. Turns out he's been overseas for all this time.
It's land. Japan!
If you're not too familiar with it, Takamaru is wearing Chinese clothing, so you can assume he's been somewhere close to China in his time away. We get this little bit with Takamaru wandering around, until he's pushed into a kabuki theater. Nice! The kabuki actresses get attacked and Takamaru steps in. I'm not sure if he's supposed to kick the guy in the crotch, but he totally does it. Seriously, this music, it's the kind of music you would make love to, and it's in a ninja movie. It's freaking awesome! Here, we get one of the better fighting scenes. I don't mean to nitpick, but the fighting's not very fluid. I'm not saying I can do any better, but it's definitely different from the kind of stuff Jackie Chan would do.
The kabuki owner sees his sword and follows him.
He's shortly stopped by this guy, who immediately recognizes him as the Momochi clan's heir. I mean, seriously, dude, it's like twirling the One Ring while you're going through a city of orcs. Bad idea. He escapes and we get more exposition. They're annoying if anything.
This particular ninja was working...
Ooh, we're introduced to an instantly recognizable name.
Hideyoshi's position as Shogun.
Hattori Hans. Hans Gruber's older brother. I mean, movie, come on with the cropping. Jeez, why wasn't cropping used to do something more useful? Like making Han shoot first in the Star Wars series again.
Bet you have.
For some reason, he recognizes the grown-up faces of children at the first meeting. And they greet as if they're old friends. This is another one of those build-up problems. Like, he meets them for literally 10 seconds before they're attacked. And in all that time, he somehow recognizes their face and how much they've aged over the decade that he's been away. It's kind of ridiculous. Takamaru explains his situation. We learn that the man who jumped with him into the water died, and the crying girl in the beginning has been missing since. The clan members explain that they've been Robin Hooding around, awaiting his return. That's followed up by an attempt at building character.
I'm in charge of planning. Yocke isn't the brightest, but he can open any lock in Japan. Gucci is as light on his feet as a monkey.
I help out on odd jobs, though if any animal needs handling, then I am the man.
I mean, it's nice and all, but at this point, I haven't even connected a name to a face, let alone an attribute. so it kind of falls dead. Seriously, you've only gotten their names mentioned once when they're children and once when they're adults, so do they expect you to connect two faces with one name? I don't know, it's just bad storytelling. There's someone who's understandably angry at Takamaru for being gone for so long, so you get this scene where they're practicing jujitsu and whatever Takamaru is fighting in. I mean, he's been gone for all that time. You can't really expect him to be as well trained as the other guys, can you? I'm sorry, nitpicking again. This is what I mean by not very fluid fighting. The finishing kick, if you can't already tell, sends him seriously off balance. Don't get me wrong, I hold all the respect in the world for Sonata, but the quality of the fighting shows through.
You stole it. Hey, up!
You get this one weird scene.
I have trained these ninja to act like spiders.
Although he explains it, it's just kind of ridiculous. Even jazz music in the back can't help recover this scene. I mean, it looks like they're doing a shitting squat up in the trees.
Our army is victorious. Nothing can stand in their way.
There's this bit where they explain about war plans and everything. Seriously, okay. I've been trying to hide it, but I can't anymore. I don't know who that guy is.
Was so expensive.
Is he another lord the Shogun works under? I'm going to have to go out on a limb and assume that he's the emperor. They might have told you that in some of the Japanese subtitles, but I can't read them. And it's never voiced, so I have to assume that he is. After all, it's to my understanding that the only one the Shogun would actually report to is the emperor. So hopefully he is. We get this little bit where the emperor adorns his son with affection. I don't know why this scene stood out to me, but I like it. I mean, most of the time you get imagery of well-postured, strong, militaristic figures as leaders of Japan, but rarely is an affectionate father shown, and for that alone, I think it's worth pointing out. That scene, however, is followed up by this one because...
You'll spoil him. Come along, Sudamaru. Come, Sudamaru.
This is apparently the Emperor's wife. That bitch. Takamaru explains about his time overseas in this scene.
I'll try.
Okay.
Are you all right?
Okay. I'm sorry.
She's the daughter of a kung fu instructor. Her name was Arlene, and I loved her. I still miss her.
Okay, I find that hilarious. Like, it's not funny because it's funny because they actually attempted to pull that off. Like, it's good if it's in an anime or on paper, but on screen,
I still miss her.
it's just freaking hilarious. Okay, with jokes aside, she's another poorly introduced character to later be poorly rid of. We're introduced to an older Otsu who's the little girl in the beginning. And because Takamaru saved her life, she loves him. There! I solved the mystery. We can stop watching now. But her big brother, Hans, has a different agenda. He wants to steal the sword from Takamaru. We then get this bit where side character number 9,642,229,641 tells Takamaru that... Wait. It's 4. Side character number 4. Anyways, tells Takamaru that the sword has a map on it to a gold mine. Takamaru finds out that there's another half, perhaps in sword form. He then hears a distant flute. He then stumbles upon love interest number 249,002. And because he has the memory of a Batman elephant hybrid, he knows that it's Otsu. Otsu explains her situation and leaves promptly. Huh. We get this very strange and out of nowhere scene. Apparently one of the men's wives ratted on the ninjas because... I don't know. Honestly, I want to ask the script this.
Well, what are you waiting for?
I don't know. Something amazing, I guess.
光る海白い砂懐かしい風